Welcome to Robin's Roost. Today we're doing a fun fold card using the beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper and the Right Words stamp set. So we are going to end up with a card that looks like this. And the fun fold part, you'll notice that the corner is tipped off, and this is the fold side. So when you open it up, you get a fun surprise that pops up. So let's just go ahead and flip the camera and get started on this easy card. So let's start with the tricky part, which is the base, to get our little squishy part in the top. Now there's a couple ways you can do it. Let's start with folding it. It's just scored like normal. It's an 8.5 by 5.5 piece of cardstock that's scored at 4 1/4. So what we need to do is we need to score and then fold in this corner on the folded side. So you can either measure 3 1/4 by 2 1/4, and then you can do this either on your trimmer with your scoring blade or on your score pal. You can also make this template, which works pretty slick. Another demonstrator came up with this one, not me. I'm not that smart. So you can use the template then to cut your angled designer series paper too, which is really cool, and then you don't have to measure each time. So what you do is you're just going to take your scoring tool, and this one happens to be off of my my scoreboard. You're going to line this all up, and then go ahead and score it. And then I like to put this back here just because my brain will flip it and it won't be in the right position. We're going to score the other side because of course we need both sides. Okay, so we're not done with those yet. Then what we're going to do is we're going to play with this. You have to be kind of gentle to begin with to get the scores going. And then we're just going to pop it inside. Take our bone folder and get this scored nice and sharp. Now for the next couple of steps, I like to put my paper on here to visualize where I want it cut. So I'm going to do this, and let me go grab my trimmer. So you could do this with the scissors as well. So I'm just going to put my point on the cutting edge, and then I'm going to move this out of the way. I'm going to hold this in place and trim off that. Now we're going to use this piece later on the inside, but we can go ahead. Let's move this out of the way for a minute. Let's just go ahead and adhere this down. And I may have mentioned this is the beautiful Gallery Designer Series paper, and you can see it's hard to choose sometimes which side you want, but I was looking for nautical kind of. This is a card that we did at my card class, or are doing actually today. So I've chosen, there's two different watery scenes, so I had enough paper from here, from the pack, to do my card class. So that's it for this piece. And then now for these inside pieces, I've got 2 pieces of Fairy Vanilla that are 4 by 5 1/4, and that's the same size that Designer Series paper was. Now if you are using Designer Series paper in here or some kind of pattern, it's kind of important to get your angles in the right spot, right? Because they're going to face each other. So at that point, when you cut these, you have to think that this is going like this. For the white, it really doesn't matter so much as long as you cut it, you know, the right direction. But we're going to do the same thing here. Let's pull our trimmer back in. Oh, and you can see I have two of these. I keep losing both of them actually, but so we're going to just put these two together. Make sure they're snugged up nice and even. Make sure your piece is in the corner. And this is just going to make your angles right so they all kind of match up. I give it a couple wings through there so it cuts both. Now we're going to need the trimmer for one more thing yet. Now, because we have this fold in here, let me take these. This is going to be a little too big, right? Because it's the whole size. So we're going to need to cut 1/4 inch. I like to always lay it on here so I make sure I'm cutting the right side. And we're just going to put this, I can see here, at 1/4 inch. Ah! Try that again. Hold on to it. Something doesn't look right. Yeah, I'm too far. Hopefully I didn't muck that up so bad I can't use it. I think it'll be okay. Okay. So now we just need to get these all, yeah, and I did make a slice in there. I think it'll be okay because it'll be covered by our flippy up thing. Okay. So these are going to go here, and because of all these tips, I like to use some liquid glue on these. And then these we can just use our regular tape runner. And then we have this leftover piece that we're going to put right in here to make it look like a little tuck back. So we need our liquid glue again for these points. And it fits in here just perfectly. Kind of looks like a folded black back blanket or something. Now we're ready to make our little decorative pieces. So I have cut 2 circles, and these with the, oh gosh, what do you call it? That pattern, ridged pattern. And you could use any, you know, circle punches or whatever. This is 2 3/4, and these are out of Secret Sea, one of the new in colors. And then I've got a very vanilla piece that's about 2 1/4. So if you're using punches or something else, you'll know. So one is going to go on the front here, and the other one on the inside. And then I also have die cut, and you may not have all these different sets, but you can improvise, right? So this comes from the Sunrise Sailing. It's a little teeny tiny sailboat, and then I've just got a bow out of linen thread, and then this little starfish actually comes from the Notes and Totes set. So I'm going to quickly glue this guy together. So he's just one piece to lose. We're going to do a little stamping on here, and I am choosing to use the one of my new favorites for words, the Right Words stamp set. Whew, I'm at a loss for words this morning. Lots of really good greetings on here. So we are using the celebration. So this is going to be a birthday card, and I'm going to go with the Secret C because we've got the Secret C colors in here. And to someone worth celebrating every single day. So this is just going to go kind of in the center. And then for the inside, I've got one that says sending good vibes, and this one I want as far down on the bottom as I can get because the sailboat is going to go on top. So we're just going to kind of see how far down we can get it. Okay. And I believe that's all of our, oh no, we have one more thing, but I'm going to close this because I want to do that after we get these circles on. So now we can go ahead and put our circle on here, and I'm going to actually pop this one up with dimensionals. See if I can pull them in here. And this is just an option, right? You don't have to do this. You can. So I've got this. And I am just going to put this off to one side, but I want my ridges to show. So I'm going to put this like this. And now you may have noticed that I shorted my paper just a little bit. So we're going to put this guy right on there. I hate that when I can almost get one more circle out of a strip, but not quite, and it was not quite. But I figured this little starfish? No, this isn't. Starfish, there we go, would kind of cover up my boo-boo. So we're just going to put him there. Maybe I should have done that before I popped it up. And then we've got our little bow. And I tied that ahead of time because I know in the mornings tying little tiny things and it's not my friend. So we're just going to put the little bow kind of right here on the edge too. Let's see, oh, if I could pick it up. I think maybe over here for this one. Oops. Because I got this kind of covering that. Maybe if I make it a little tinier. Do you futz as much with putting bows and things on? Maybe this side? No, I want it on this side. Okay, so now I'll get my backwards rolled booger glues here. I rolled it up, put it on my knot, and we'll add this right there. Now, I did get that one side a little bit long from making them smaller, so let's go ahead and trim that off a little bit. Okay. Now, when you put this on here, you're going to make sure that it doesn't go over this edge, right? Because it has to fit in the envelope. So now, one thing you can do, I know I've shared this before, but I don't always do this just because I'm lazy, mostly. But you can go like this, put this on here, stick it to there, okay? And now you can see where you need to adhere your glue. If you don't want to play the Russian roulette of, am I going to stick it on the part that folds or whatever, or add glue where it's going to be hanging out. Okay, so there's that. And it's so easy to do. So now on the inside, and I really don't want anything popped up on the inside, So we're just going to go ahead and adhere this flat. And then our sailboat is going to go up here. Take some liquid glue again. Now I don't remember, was that little tip over the edge? I think it was, but we'll add a little bit of glue right there. Okay. And he's just going to go right here. And we're sending some good vibes, and then he's going to go right here, and it's going to cover up those little mistakes I made. So again, you can take this and slide it in like this, and then we know where to put our glue. You could do another one here because we don't want the glue all the way up to the top. So if you wanted to, and this one isn't going to matter how high it goes because it's not going in the envelope open, right? Okay, so now, oops, that's not my adhesive. Now we'll just grab our adhesive and really slather it on pretty good. And then we'll use our little jig here, little paper jig, to put that back on. And take our little jig off. We're done with that. Okay, so now, oops. Boy, I'm having a heck of a time this morning. Maybe I should have had my coffee first. Okay. So there's our inside, and we need one more thing. I want to, this is a birthday card. So we've got happy birthday, and all of these greetings do come from the right words. And we're just going to put this right here. So if you have a nautical loving friend, I know here in Minnesota it's probably more fishing boats or pontoons than sailboats, but this is what I had. I didn't have a pontoon boat. Otherwise that would have been really cool. Now hopefully that ink is dry enough. So there's our front of our card, and here's our inside. And there is one other pattern in there that's this one's even better probably with the boats here for that that same look. And then I just wanted to pull in the card that I actually saw that originally when I learned to do this fold, and it was from Cindy Baumgartner, I think is her name. Cindy Lee B Designs, I think is what she goes by. Wasn't this beautiful? And this is in that same beautiful gallery designer series paper, and basically the same card, only it's a sympathy card using the flowers. So hope you enjoyed this this fun fold and this paper. So if you need to purchase any supplies, go ahead and hop on to my my store